I don't see why he was a football player. I don't understand what that gives to the story.
We needed to get the PR thing in somehow, innit? For some reason.
Nah, but that's such a lot for a little. That's literally like buying a beach to find a pebble.
Yeah,
it's like
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you've got the money, but it's like it's
I like
how
that
much money you
saying,
have.
though, buying a beach. Did you just come up with that?
Of course.
Not is what he's supposed to say. But yes,
did you just go with that? You had to have done. When NFL defensive end Graydon St. John joins a zoo for a PR stunt, the last thing he expects is to be stuck in the flamingo enclosure. And the last thing on his mind is a fake social media relationship with the flamingo handler. A disgraced footballer and a flamingo exhibit director. Quite the unlikely pairing, but aren't those always the best ones? No is the answer. They're not always the best ones. And yet, I hear you thought this book was a solid 5 out of 5. Best thing you've read in the year of our Lord 2026.
It wasn't a 5 out of 5, but it wasn't far off. Pause this video right now. Go and read Just for the Camera by
Megan Quinn. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because I'm going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library. You're going to tell them all about it.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to tell the author all about this piece
I'll tell you all about you.
Do you know what? We haven't read one of these stupid, tropey romance books in a while. And picking this up made me realize how lucky we are, because we haven't. But it's just the same old rubbish. Let's just go straight into it. Okay, aside from the obvious stereotypes, the emotionally stunted, damaged man with a range of a teaspoon, with emotional range of a teaspoon, and the most impossibly beautiful, flawless woman he can't stop obsessing over, I'm actually starting to warm to it. Maple, our female main character, is slowly winning over grumpy Graydon by offering to train at football if he shows a bit more enthusiasm about the flamingos. I like the name Maple, by the way. That dynamic could be fun. I'm expecting a back and forth where they take turns embarrassing each other in their respective comfort zones. The banter was promising too. After Graydon gave Maple an instruction, she hesitated and he snapped, "What are you waiting for? You looking for a safe word? Safe word?" Which I thought was outrageous. Unfortunately, the fast-paced wit didn't last long, and it started sliding into a broody romance territory, even with the introduction of Flamingo Boy. One real issue I had is that I think Megan Quinn pushed Graydon too far. He's not just grumpy, he's a full-blown asshole. Rude, unpleasant, his default setting seems to be hostility, sometimes even leaning towards aggression. In a dark romance, that might work, but this is meant to be a rom-com. Do we really want our rom-com male main characters coming across as violent? Is that genuinely the fantasy? A 6'5", muscled, intimidating man whose first instinct is confrontation? It feels totally off for the genre. So what do you think? Was Graydon simply too much of an asshole? And did the author try to soften the blow by giving him a conveniently tragic childhood? A last-minute sob-story designed to justify that behaviour?
They always do that, though. All the best, bad boy villains that the girl's supposed to swoon and lust after, they always have tragic backstories and, they was abused as a child or whatever.
Not his fault.
And it's not his fault, and he's misunderstood, and you can fix him, and all the other toxic tropes that lead women astray.
Is all the things that he's done forgiven then because of his upbringing?
No.
Why not?
I just think if you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. Sorry, own it as well. Doesn't mean you're, we don't put people in prison for being dickheads.
I actually wanted to say that do you know the reason why we read this book?
No.
The reason why we read this book is because of the author, Megan Quinn. And we liked How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. That's the only reason, because remember, we have stayed away from all the romance books, but I thought it's Megan Quinn. She did a fantastic job last time.
I think fantastic's a stretch,
she did
but it was
fantastic. Given the genre, given the
I don't do that.
Given the competition.
I don't do given the genre.
Well,
I think
why not? You got to do so. I think that's easily the best romance book we've read. Easily.
Fair enough.
Easily.
Wait.
What?
Depends what counts as a romance, to be fair. But anyway, just going down a rabbit hole that we're never going to emerge from. But, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas was fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
Fantastic.
It was
loved it. The cane scene.
Yeah.
That's what sold it.
I'm marking it down for that. I'm actually marking it down for that, because what the hell? Candy cane scene.
Candy canes.
I did not like the name Maple, by the way. Just
I didn't like
full
it
disclosure.
either. I loved it. I was thinking I might just name my next child Maple.
No, I'm crying.
Love
It's
it.
shocking. I don't understand the fascination authors have with like, let's give my character some kind of cool, edgy name. Like
But
you
this
see
is
the
what people do now. I
yeah,
mean, in
I
real
know,
life now.
I
This is
know,
what
and we
is
hate them
trendy.
too. All the people, even George R. R. Martin was like, please stop calling your children Daenerys and Khaleesi. And somebody was like, is this because she goes mad like in the show? And he was like, no. He was like, no, it's just because, you know, the spelling and it's going to look weird and you're going to bully them. And I was like, he's chatting shit. But anyways, no one likes...
You. Oh, no, is that not what he's going to say?
No one likes that guy that's, you know, names his children random things, like as if his children are better than your children or whatever. Like they can't have common names like yours.
You mean Joseph?
Well, Joseph was my favourite out of all his brothers.
And they killed him.
Because they were hating ass niggas.
Well, they didn't kill him.
But
they
yeah,
tried.
no, they didn't kill him.
They
They
as
tried.
good as left him for dead.
It's a good thing they didn't, though.
They
'cause
should have,
came
really.
Back. No,
Leaving him
because
to
they came
starve.
back. Remember, they came back and they had to beg him for food. To beg him
Oh,
for money
no, but
and
they
food.
didn't come back to save him. They,
No.
you made
that's
it
not
seem like,
meant.
no, they didn't really. They didn't come back.
That's what I meant. They took his Canada Goose jacket as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Insane.
Crazy. Well, he won't be needing it if he's dead, I suppose. They didn't want it to waste not one what.
It's a nice jacket.
What did they think was going to happen? I mean, the father was...
He was just going to stop asking questions. Insane. And he did, you know. He literally did ask
nothing I
questions.
can do.
He just had a few more sons.
Just remember, Joseph is forgiven. He forgave his brothers, even though they, you know, tried to kill him.
To be fair, he did set them up to be arrested for theft first. Remember, he snuck that cup into one of their bags.
Oh, yeah. But
actually
he
set them
did. I
up.
forgot about that.
To be fair, then he
don't-
sent the ferrisman after. The ferrisman could have just disposed of them. Do you know what I mean? And he would have been like, oh, whoops.
Anyway, back on topic.
Yeah, I don't know how you got into that. This book is fake marriage in different wrapping paper. Not that there's anything wrong with a good old fake marriage story, except for it being done to death. So Graydon St. John is the defensive end for the San Francisco Foghorns. During a PR stunt at a zoo after a year of poor publicity, Graydon learns that he will be working directly with the flamingo exhibit, much to his disdain. It's there that he meets zookeeper Maple Baker, our story's love interest. I feel like there's too much going on in this story already. There's a kind of forced romance trope. Then there is the enemies to lovers trope. Then there is also PR stunt reality show trope.
Yeah.
On top of that, our main character is a footballer, and I presume that is purely for decorative purposes. Nothing about the story will have anything to do with football. So there just seemed like a load of...
And then a zoo as well.
A zoo, there was just a load of stuff in there. There was two
Then
other athletes.
Flamingo
There was two
Boy,
other athletes. Then there
slutty
was
glasses.
then there was the publicist as well, Gretchen. So there was just a lot going on in the story, and I was just like, I don't know which one is meant to be the plot line that I'm supposed to be paying attention on. I mean, you can clearly see it's going to be the romance, obviously, but
Yeah.
there was just
There was
so
a
much.
lot going on. That is actually a good observation. Normally, I'm the one that says there's a lot going on, but
Yeah.
the
Just said it first this time.
The lack of real escalation in the rivalry between Graydon and Slutty Glasses was a missed opportunity. I can't even remember his actual name, but he was basically reduced to Flamingo Boy or Slutty Glasses. And that's wild because he was technically the perfect match for Maple. Same interest, same energy, no emotional damage, just stable. There's a scene where Slutty Glasses says to Graydon, yeah, she's your girlfriend for now. Excuse me? That line should have detonated something. That's a man openly saying, I'm not threatening you. Sorry, I'm not threatened by you. No fear, no respect. And instead of that moment igniting a proper rivalry, tension, jealousy, competitive chaos, it just fizzles. I'm not saying it needed to turn to violence, but it needed to mean something. It needed escalation, pride, consequences, something that made the dynamic electric. Instead, it just drifts. And that's how I feel about the entire book. This ended up being a very standard slow burn romance. Safe, predictable, nowhere near entertaining as what I've come to expect from Megan Quinn. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if How My Neighbor Stole Christmas was lightning in a bottle. Because the lack of ingenuity and energy in this one feels closer to amateur execution rather than a polished rom-com brilliance. The banter, it was actually better when they hated each other. Once that tension softened, so did the dialogue. It stopped feeling sharp and started to feel flat. And for a rom-com, that's fatal. I think it's a shame because the elements are there. It's just the execution, I think, is being let down in this book. What do you think? Do you think the elements were there? Do you think with some editing, you could make this book into something? Or
You
do
could
just
definitely
think
make it into something, because you have to remember, not just because we don't necessarily like the romance slop doesn't mean there's people there's not enjoyers for it out there. There's obviously a big market for it.
I don't, but that's not the way I look at a book. I try to look at it is it a good book? And I
Yeah.
just thought this wasn't a good book. You can enjoy this if you want. I didn't enjoy it, but I don't think this was a good book. I thought it
Me
was
neither.
way too slow. I thought it was way too lovey-dovey very quickly. We
Exactly.
didn't get a chance to
Insta-love.
we didn't get a chance to enjoy them hating each other. Even if
Exactly.
they're playing little pranks. I mean, and I'm not even like cute pranks. I mean like, I don't know, dropping shit on flamingo shit.
Whatever it
Like
could be, yeah.
actual things. And then when she comes over to football, I don't know, he blasts the ball at her. I don't know, he sticks her in goal. I don't know. But
Yeah, you
there's
didn't write the
something.
book, so why are you coming out with it?
Do you know what I mean? There should have been something where they
Yeah, no.
actually hate each other and they're doing things to even get each other kicked off the team.
Yeah,
Do you get
enemies
what
to
I'm
lovers
saying?
isn't taken seriously these days. It's more like, it's not even enemies. Can you really
just
call that
pretend,
enemies?
yeah.
It's slightly disillusioned neighbours who, you know, immediately fall in. Like, and that's just a huge problem with the genre, to be honest, because authors don't have to delay their own gratification anymore.
They just want to get to straight to fucking.
They want to get straight in, no foreplay. I've had some decently high hopes for this book, but it's losing me. When Maple and Graydon meet, Maple inwardly remarks on his size, but also his arrogance and dismissive attitude. Yawn. I think we all know where this is going. I'll be honest, enemies to lovers is the most Fugazi trope of all time. Half the time, they're not even enemies. They're slightly disillusioned co-workers / neighbours who found each other attractive literally since the first second that they met.
Yeah.
Literally by chapter 4, Maple is already admiring a shirtless photo of Graydon. Pacing used to be a thing, but now we live in the era of insta-love. So,
Yeah.
literally, how am I meant to will they, won't they, if they're already drooling over each other by like
Exactly.
chapter 3? It's very, very clearly that
Only
it's a
matter
will
of
they.
time. Yeah.
It's
So
it's literally a
seems
matter
like
of time.
We've answered our question from the last book. If they're attractive enough, is it only a matter
Well,
of
I
time?
didn't say that. I said it's maritime here because that's clearly the way the author's setting it up.
Yes.
That was very disarming.
What do you say to that? Do you know?
You can't be like, no.
Now
Disagree
you're the
back.
childish one. Eh?
Just disagree back. Why not? Contrarian.
Is Megan Quinn expecting us to care deeply about the flamingos without giving us a reason to? There was no real attempt to make that element meaningful. I didn't learn anything new about flamingos. There was no jeopardy, no emotional hook. Imagine if one of the birds had been injured, a rushed first aid scene, a life-saving procedure, actual stakes. That would have grounded the setting and made it matter. Instead, the flamingos feel decorative, hollow, like a quirky aesthetic choice rather than an integral part of the story. The same goes for the Gladdy Daddies. Graydon's reluctance bromance arc had potential, and yes, some of the banter landed, but it never developed into anything substantial. It was surface level camaraderie, nothing that deepened the humour or the heart of the story. And that's my bigger issue. The book really needs to stop marketing itself as a rom-com. It just wasn't funny enough. The tension didn't consistently spark, the wit wasn't sharp, and the humour rarely escalated beyond mild amusement. At times, it felt like the plan was to let the sex scene carry the momentum, and after a while, it became exhausting. I found myself skipping through them, and then, if I'm honest, around 55%, I skimmed all the way up until 85%. It was simply too long, too repetitive. Graydon's parental trauma, the daddy and mummy issues, it didn't add much beyond surface level explanation. It wasn't layered enough to feel compelling. We didn't meaningfully explore flamingos. We didn't meaningfully explore football. We barely even spent time actively doing anything in a zoo. Those were rich opportunities for immersive storytelling, and they were missed. On a positive note, the audio narration was strong. The voice actors did a solid job bringing energy to material that often felt flat on the page. All in all, I think this is an average, boring romance book, but because of the length, I'm officially going to mark it down even more than I would have. Any fool can see that this book is way too long and repetitive. How is it that Megan Quinn couldn't see this? Embarrassing.
Next time, a little less rom, a little more com.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
I think nailing the balance between rom and com is
crucial.
key. It's
and
literally
if you
key
go
to
too
making.
much on the com, you can't win.
As long as it's funny.
You know what I mean?
If it's like not funny com, then obviously that's always a net negative. But yeah, no, it's as long as you just don't go too far with the rom and not enough with the com. That's literally the only way you can mess it up. And somehow you did it. Hitch. That's a movie that has, for me, the perfect amount of rom and com in there, which is weird because, not everyone finds Will Smith funny. I was wrong. There are aspects of football involved in this book, and I wish there weren't. I just don't think Graydon St. John football player was the right creative decision for this book. It just reads as a slapdash way for the author to get Maple and Grayson's sweaty bodies gyrating together, and instead of reading a well planned out story with pacing, it feels like I'm being force fed porn. So in other words, 5 stars! I really don't see what Graydon, sorry, don't know why, it's not
So
just
what you're
Grayson.
saying is you don't want to be force fed porn? That's what I heard. Weirdo.
I don't see why he was a football player. I don't understand like what that gives to the story. I don't see like what the author was trying to do. Maybe
We
she was
needed to
just
get
trying
the
to.
PR thing in somehow, innit? For some reason.
Nah,
I
but
don't
that's
know
just
why.
that's such a lot for a little. That's literally like buying a beach to find a pebble.
Yeah.
It's like
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you've got the money, but it's like so it's not doesn't make fiscal sense. No
I
matter
like
how
that
much money you
saying,
have.
though, buying a beach. Did you just come up with that?
Of course.
Not is what you're supposed to say. But yes.
Did you just go with that? You had to have done.
I think we should just get straight to how much we will recommend this book, and that is.
I've got another one.
Oh, have you? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Do I have another
You
one? then?
disgrace.
Oh yeah, you said you had 4.
You must do.
No, I said that I had 3 from the get go. Go on and get your last one done then.
Impossible, because I've just done one. So how do you not have one left?
I've done them all.
You must have done 2 in one by accident or on purpose.
That's what I
whatever.
like doing.
Honestly, I would probably DNF this book if I could. The characters bore me, the story bores me. It's pretty standard romance slop where the characters do things that nobody in an actual relationship, situationship, fling, etc. would ever do. If Maple supposedly dates this guy, why would she make him take her out to dinner? So supposedly hates this guy, sorry. Why would she make him take her to dinner at her first opportunity to blackmail him? Clearly her head is turned by his money, or else why would she bother to Google his net worth? It's just like everything is purposefully set up to advance Maple and Graydon's love story, and they, ever the dutiful protagonists, are just going to go along with it. So it's almost like it's like a theatre, they're playing a part where it's like, you know, the pantomime, it's behind you. What?
I think this is the worst book I've ever read.
Insane. Insane.
I'd rather read Briar Club.
Oh,
I'd rather read God of the
lost
Woods.
me. You've lost me.
I'd rather. I think the
Name
book
of the
was-
Rose.
It's never that. It's never that. It's a good book though.
Do you know what? If you go back and watch our review of The Name of the Rose
Yeah.
by Umberto Eco, you will literally hear us say, oh, it's an amazing book, but I'll never read it again.
It was a 0 from me.
I will you can resign.
This book, I just didn't like it.
it was shocking.
I was so disappointed because I had a lot of respect for the author. But now we can put her in the bin once and for all.
If we're going to read, like, for example, something I consider romance slop, Leather and Lark, for example, that's like about assassins, isn't it? So there's a lot you could like get stuck into there.
That was crap and all.
Of course it was, but it wasn't. This is
but
new
this is
level
why
of crap.
I
This is
say-
crap and boring.
This is why I say How My Neighbor Stole Christmas was the best rom-com or even romance book we've read. I haven't enjoyed anything to the level that I enjoyed that. I thought that was good. I thought the banter was good, but we've done a video on that. But yeah, let's... I'm just going to say it. I wouldn't recommend this book, and I'm going to give it a 0.
0.
0.
I agree.
0.
No,
I think you're being too generous.
Yeah, no. To be
0.
honest, because I didn't like any of the characters.
Boring.
I thought the characters were a huge waste of time.
Way
Like
too
there was
long.
the book was way too long. There was too much book.
I would have DNF'd it within the first chapter.
Absolutely. Burn it.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. But yeah, I suppose that's us done then. Till next time.
Till next time.